You can access the Salamander Cloud Portal by going to https://salamandercloud.co.uk. Once you're on that page, please click the Login button to sign in. After clicking the Login button, you'll be taken to this page where you need to select your authentication tenancy. Please note that the tenancy you use to authenticate must be the same as the one selected when you signed up to the Salamander Cloud Portal for the first time. So if when signing up for the first time you use Google, you must always choose to sign in with Google from that point on. If you first signed up with Microsoft, you must always choose to sign in with Microsoft. All of the Salamander installations that you can currently view in the Salamander Cloud Portal can be found in the list on the left of the screen. If you have access to installations across multiple customers, then a drop-down list of customers will appear at the top of this section. You can then select the customer that you desire to see the installations for, and then the installations for that customer will appear below. You can see if there were any issues in the previous runs by checking the provisioning status. If no issues occurred, the provisioning status will show as success and the box will be green. The provisioning status will show as possible issues if there were any error level messages in the last run of your Salamander processes. On multi-school builds, any error level message for any school in the build in the last run of your Salamander processes will cause provisioning status to show as possible issues. So even if only one school has an error level message in the most recent run, the provisioning status will still show as possible issues, even though the rest of the schools were fine. Provisioning status will show as failed if there were any fatal level messages in the last run of your Salamander processes. On multi-school builds, any fatal level message in the last run of your Salamander processes for any school will cause the provisioning status to show as failed. You can check if a remote support session is currently running by checking the remote support status. This will show as inactive if there is no remote support session currently open. This will show as active if there is a remote support session currently open. You can see when your installation's license expires in the License Expires box. This box will show the date of your license's expiry. The box will be green if the expiry is over a month away. The box will be amber if the license expires in 1 month or less. And the box will be red if the license has already expired. The integration results table will provide you with an overview of the latest results of your integration suite processes. Clicking on the external link button will expand the table to take you to the integration results page. Clicking on any of the workflows will take you to the view logs page for that workflow. On multi-school build dashboards, you are able to filter the integration results table to sort the results either by workflow or by school. The Quick Run section allows you to quickly run one of your integration suite processes. Select the process that you wish to run from the Select Job drop-down menu. Then click Run to run the selected job. You can view all of your scheduled jobs in more detail by clicking on the external link button in the Quick Run section. The Job Queue section allows you to see the current job queue and any Salamander processes that are either currently running or queued to run. Clicking on the 3 dots next to any job in the queue will provide you with a menu that will allow you to either view the current output of the job or cancel the job. The Recently Created Account section will allow you to view the account details for the most recently created staff or student accounts. Clicking on the external link button will open up a table allowing you to view all of the previously created accounts. On multi-school builds, you can change which school you are viewing the accounts for using the drop-down. For multi-school builds, the Schools tab allows you to see the installation results for each of your schools. For each school, you can see the name of the school's code, whether cloud processes are enabled for that school, the time and date that processes were last run for that school, whether the run was successful, if errors did occur in the last run, the number of errors in that run, the View School button, which will take you to the dashboard for that school. Each school in a multi-school build has their own dashboard, which can be accessed using the View School button on the school's page. You can see the name and DFE number of the school in the top left. You can see the provisioning status in the top right. You can see a table containing the integration results for all the most recent workflows. You can see all of the created accounts accounts for that school. On the Integration Jobs page, you can see all of the Salamander Cloud integration jobs that have been set up. For each job you can see the name of the job, when the job will trigger automatically or if it is a manual only job, whether the job is currently enabled and the ability to toggle that on and off, the status of the job, the time and date of the last run, the time and date of the next scheduled run, the Run button which will begin running the job. Clicking on the three dots will allow you to view the history of the job. On the View History tab, you can view an entry for every time the previously selected job has tried to run. Clicking on the drop-down arrow next to a specific entry will provide you with more details, including the time and date that the job ran, what event occurred, such as if a job was created, updated or triggered, who initiated the creation, run or change, the name of the event, whether it is enabled, what the trigger is. If the job is scheduled, then you can also see the cron expression of that trigger, the events that occurred and their timestamps, which specific workflows were included in the job, and for each workflow, what logger was set and which schools the job was run for. On the Integration Results page, you can see a table containing the results of the most recent run of all of your Integration Suite processes. For each process, you can see the name of the workflow, the time and date of the last run's completion, whether the run was successful or not. For a run to be successful, there must be no error or fatal level messages in the logs for that run. The error report, which will tell you how many errors occurred in the latest run. The View Logs button, which will take you to the logs page for that workflow. Please note that for multi-school builds, you'll be taken to an Integration Results school page. Clicking on the three dots will allow you to either download a copy of the latest logs or view this workflow in the Configuration Explorer. For multi-school builds, if you click on the View Logs button on the Integration Results page, you will be brought to the Schools page. For each school, you will be able to see the following: the name of the school, the time and date that the workflow last ran, whether the run was successful, if there were any errors, and if so, how many occurred. Clicking the View Logs button next to a school will open up the View Logs page for that school for the workflow that you previously selected. On the View Logs page, you can view the logs for a selected workflow. If you are viewing the logs in a multi-school build, you will also be able to see the short name of whichever school you are viewing the logs of. Clicking on the calendar icon next to Select Date will allow you to select the date you wish to view the logs from. Clicking on the drop-down next to Select Time will allow you to select which run you would like to see the log results of. This is for situations where you have multiple runs of the same workflow in one day. Any warn level messages will be highlighted in yellow. Any error or fatal messages will be highlighted in red. You can download a copy of the logs that you are viewing by clicking on the Download button on the right. The Created Accounts page will allow you to see all of the previously created accounts for the school. You can search for accounts using the Search Accounts search bar on the top right. Clicking on the Export button will download a plain text copy of the created accounts to your machine. Please ensure that you properly delete the CSV once you have finished. If no accounts have been selected, then all accounts will be exported by default. If you tick the tick box next to any user or users, then click the Export button, only account details for the selected accounts will be exported. Clicking on the Sync button will sync the Created Accounts folder with the Salamander Cloud Portal, allowing you to ensure that you are seeing all of the most recently created accounts. Clicking on the eye icon will reveal the password that was set for the user on account creation. Please note that this will not reflect any updates or changes made to the password post-account creation. For multi-school builds, you can view the created accounts by going to the School tab, then selecting the desired school from the list. That school's created accounts can then be found at the bottom of the school's dashboard. On the Licenses page, you can see all of the licenses that have been generated and uploaded via the cloud. Expired licenses will be kept for 90 days after they expire. After 90 days, the expired licenses will automatically be deleted. The Agent Management section provides information on the Salamander Cloud Agent that is installed on your server. The Cloud Processing section tells you whether the Salamander Cloud Portal processes are currently enabled. Last Seen tells you the time and date that the Salamander Cloud Portal was last able to contact the server hosting your Salamander integration suite. Clicking Ping Agent will make the Salamander Cloud Portal attempt to ping the Salamander server. If the ping was successful, you should see the last seen time and date will update. Service version tells you which version of the Salamander Cloud Agent is currently installed on your Salamander server. If your Cloud Agent is not on the latest version, an update button will appear next to the service version. Clicking on the update button will attempt to update your Salamander Cloud Agent to the latest version. The Agent Details table provides you with an overview of your Salamander Integration Suite installation details. Clicking on the Sync Files button will sync your Salamander and installation folders with the Salamander Cloud Portal. The Support Access page provides you with details on remote support sessions. The Status section will tell you whether a remote support session is currently running. This status will be set to Access Inactive if no remote support session is running. The status will be set to Access Active if there is a remote support session currently running. Manage Support Access allows you to enable a remote support session. To do this, please select the time frame you wish to have the remote support session open for from the drop-down list. Then click Enable. Grant Access on Demand allows you to enable remote support sessions to be opened by Salamander Soft whenever required for a support case. If Access on Demand is enabled, you'll be able to set the reminder frequency from the drop-down, which will send out a reminder at the interval of your choosing for you to review our access. The Access Log table allows you to view the access logs for your installation, so you can see whenever a remote support session has been opened or forcibly closed. From the User Access tab, you can manage the users that have access to your Salamander Cloud Portal. You can search for users in the list using the search bar. You can add a new user by clicking the Add User button. Clicking on the three dots next to Add User will give you the option to go to the Manage Allowed Domains page. Clicking on the three dots next to a user gives you the option to edit or remove a user. Once a user has been added to the User Access page, you will automatically be taken to the Edit User page for that user. You can see the email address of the user and their status in the top bar. Clicking on the three dots will give you the option to delete the user. If the user is still a pending user, you can see a copy of the sign-up code that the user will need to use when going to https://salamandercloud.co.uk/signup. You can view all of the possible roles in the User Roles section. Customer will give that user permissions for all possible schools in the Salamander Cloud Portal. Installation will give that user permissions for that specific installation. For multi-school builds, where applicable, you'll be able to select which specific schools you want that user to have permissions for. If you make any changes to the roles assigned to a user, please ensure that you click the Save button once you are done. If you do not click the Save button, your changes will not be saved and the user's permissions will not be updated. Only users with an email address containing the domain that matches one of the allowed domains will be able to sign into the Salamander Cloud Portal. If you need to add a new domain, please click the New button and provide details. Clicking on the three dots next to a domain will give you the option to delete that domain. If you need to delete domains in bulk, you can do so by clicking the tick box next to each domain you want to delete and then clicking on the Edit button. You will then be prompted with the option to delete those domains. The Audit Logs page lets you see a log of all of the actions taken either by an end user or the Salamander installation. Please note, the visible audit logs are controlled by the level of audit viewer permissions you have been granted, such as customer, specific agents, or individual site in a multi-school build. So, for example, if you only had audit viewer permissions for one school within a multi-school build, you would only be able to see the audit logs for that school and would be unable to view the audit logs for other schools.